What's going on YouTube? This is Gail with the Gift of Gail coming back with a review for the R&B Divas LA Reunion Part 1 on TV1. I hadn't reviewed any of this season. I've just been watching along with everybody else, and I've been watching YouTube videos of reviews. And I honestly didn't pay attention to the show as much as it seems like some people have. And when I say that, it seems like a lot of people are really upset at Little Mo and Stacey Francis. I see that there's a petition to get them off the show. And I honestly, stuff has been brought up that I honestly didn't notice because most of the time I was probably playing a game on my iPad when I was watching and just really didn't give it that much attention. I kind of listened but didn't, I didn't really catch when Leela put her finger in Shantae Moore's face until I saw it on the reunion. And so I was kind of understanding why people were upset and calling them bullies. I don't think they were bullies because bullying is a little different. I mean, they did pick on her, and I think they had like a group gang type mentality when they were going against her. But I didn't necessarily feel like it was bullying the way that I heard it, because I don't want to say I saw it when I didn't fully give it my all. But with this reunion show, I watched it twice. I watched it when it first came on, to fast forward through the commercials, and I watched it again today just to make sure that I can remember everything that I did see, and it kind of changed my whole opinion of a lot of people. One, it changed my opinion of the show. A lot of people are upset because Stacey Francis is on the show, and not only Stacey Francis on the show, she's not a diva at all. She's not even a considerable diva down the line. I could have gave Lil Mo 10 years and maybe consider her a diva, maybe. And that's just a hood diva, not a real diva like a Patti LaBelle type diva. But I would have considered her in that. The only actual diva on the show is Shantae Moore. Well, sorry, the only two divas are Michelle and Shantae Moore. I definitely consider them two to be divas. I don't consider Leela, Little Mo, not even Chrisette. It's not taking away that they can sing, because Lil Mo and Chrisette really can't sing. I love Lil Mo. I even have one of her songs on my wedding CD and all that good stuff. So it's not taken away from them. It's just the fact that when you think of a diva, you don't think of them. You do think of Shantae Moore, though, I think, and Michelle and Monifa, even Nikki Gilbert, even though I really didn't follow Brownstone. Just people like that. You just think of, older, mature ladies who are, kind of stayed at the spotlight a lot, but had a little drama going on back in the 90s, that type of thing. The reason I'm looking at things differently is because we saw this show last season where everyone was against Shantae, to the point where a lot of us were against Shantae because of the way she was acting, which is what really turned me off the show, to where I really wasn't watching. But I am one of those people who, if I watch something from the beginning, I watch it to the end. So I continue to watch the seasons, and I want to say I'm a dedicated fan. So it seems like when casting happened this season, Shantae told the producers, if you guys show me in this light again to where everyone is hating me, I'm not going to continue to do this show, and I'm going to quit. And I think that's what happened. I think the producers of the show decided to, take a different route of showing Shantae's journey. I think Wendy Williams did an okay job as far as getting as much dirt as she could. I'm gonna be honest and say that I really like this reunion because it was entertaining from start to just about the finish. And you usually don't get reunions like that. So what I can say is, Stacey Francis cannot sing. Stacey Francis, I've never heard of. I did hear about the Whitney Houston thing before this show happened. I don't know if that's the reason it came out, but I thought I heard it way back when Whitney died. I could have sworn that story came out back then, but maybe not. I got a bad memory. I don't know. So what I can say is that Stacey Francis is entertaining. The same way Kenya Moore came to Real Housewives of Atlanta and kind of rejuvenated the show and gave us a character to dislike and comment on. That's the same thing Stacey Francis did. She just did it to a whole new level. And so personally, we can say we don't like Stacey. You know, if we knew her, we could say we don't like her character. But what we can't say is that it wasn't entertaining. It didn't, you know, it did keep us watching this season and giving us something to look for. Um, with Little Mo, I noticed that a lot of people are upset about Lil Mo, and I didn't get it at first. I was just like, Lil Mo has always been hood. That's why I've always liked Lil Mo. She could sing, and she was always. I felt like she always got like a raw deal, where she was always singing on a hook, and you know she didn't really get a fair chance or a fair shot to be a big star, but probably because she's so hood. And I love the fact that she was like that. I love the fact she was so hood and real. And she was missing for a while, and I found out she was doing radio. I don't know where at Memphis or something, but you know, I learned she was doing radio before this show, and I thought, you know, that's good. I'm glad she's still doing something since she's not singing anymore. So once she got this show and got to this platform, I wasn't thinking anything different would come from her. I saw a interview with I believe the Breakfast Club. Her and little I'm little. Her and Kiki Wyatt are two of my favorite people when it comes to being real and showing their true character and who they really are without sugarcoating or hide anything. And I love that. As far as her this season, I'm going to be honest, I gave her a break. The reason why I gave her a break is because she's pregnant, and those emotions with pregnancy, and I know y'all like, nah, that's a cop out. But what I can say is when I was pregnant at one point, I didn't know it yet. However, I got into it so bad with somebody that I was about to fight them, and I haven't had a fight in a very long time. And I don't fight anymore. I don't believe in fighting anymore. So for me to step out of character like that, I didn't know what got me so riled up that I would want to fight this person. And you know, I'm jumping around, and my husband is like holding me, and I'm just like, no, you know, leave me alone, because you know, she keep talking, I'm gonna have to. So it was just one of those moments where I was like, dang, you know, what happened? So, you know, 3 weeks later, I find that I was pregnant at the time. And I'm just like, oh, you know, that's what it was. So I kind of understood that with Lil Mo, she had other things going on. And I mean, from not just being married or trying to hide her being married or whatever, but she has, I guess, what, 7 kids now and coming up on 8. So I commend her for even being on the show and being able to be in all the scenes, not being late and all that good stuff, and giving us something to watch rather than cop out like Michelle did and said she didn't have a car. Because I do remember Lil Mo saying that Michelle, they were putting water in the water pump, or not the water pump, the reservoir of Michelle's old car. So I'm guessing it just conked out and she didn't have a car at the time. I'm not sure if everybody else knew that or not, because I'm sure that they would have tried to help even though they have their own lives. So, you know, it's like ups and downs to it. The way that she treated Shantae, I didn't get upset at that because she treated her that way last season and last reunion. If you can remember, her and Chris said Michelle didn't care too much for Shantae Moore, so it's not a far-fetched for her to still not want to deal with Shantae on that level after trying so hard to get back cool with her. The thing that I really, really, really have ups and down feelings about is the way that they made this show not seem so scripted. The way they told how scripted the show is during this reunion. When Wendy asked Little Mo, you know, what about the scene when y'all went out to Big Bear? You know, was that real? And Little Mo was like, no, that was just a scene to film. And then Michelle's birthday at the bowling alley, she was like, well, that was a scene to film. So now we already know that, you know, reality TV is scripted, but that just gave us a bigger, like, oh, you know, we knew it was scripted, but to know that y'all are even sitting around just waiting on each other to come to shoot a scene, that just takes all the reality out of it. That's just pretty much you guys are shooting a show, a sitcom, pretty much, and that's what we're getting. So that's the part I didn't like. Another part I didn't like was how was how they made, I want to say, they made Chrisette Michelle uh, look like a liar. They did. And this is not just Wendy Williams, but they made Chrisette Michelle look like a liar. What happened, well, what she did was she told that she didn't know who Stacey, well, no. She said that Stacey Francis had way better and said, hey, Chrisette, I'm going to be on the show and let me tell you why. And I'm going to be on there to come for Michelle and Shantae. And then when the scenes are rolling, when Stacey shows up to the Jesse Jackson birthday situation, Rainbow Coalition thing, Chrisette is asking, who's this woman sitting at our table? Like, I don't know her. And if she knew that she was there for, well, even if she didn't know her, then how did she say that she was the one who got slapped by Whitney Houston? Or, just the way that they presented it when Chrisette was on camera talking about Stacey, Chrisette, like, she didn't know who Stacey was at all. So it did make her seem like a liar, because you can't say you don't know somebody, but then say that somebody waved you down and told you, I'm coming for specifically Shantae and Michelle. I personally and honestly don't believe it. And I hate that Chrisette kind of looked a little bad on this show, because I feel like this isn't the platform she should have gotten on. I feel like she should have went to TV1 and maybe asked for her own reality show, just following her and her family, because they do make great TV, like Wendy Williams said. So I think that she should have done that more than be with these ladies. There was a scene maybe in episode 6 or something, where right before Chrisette quit, and the way she was talking to Stacey Francis, I didn't like it. The reason I didn't like it is because I felt like Chrisette was a nice person, but I feel like the way she was kind of just putting off Stacey, and I understand why she did it now, but I feel like the way she's putting off Stacey, I feel like would Chrisette have appreciated someone treating her that way, not giving her a chance, not talking to her at all, or whatever. So I'm sure it's because of the backstory, but because we didn't know that, it seemed a little off-putting to me to see Chrisette act like that towards Stacey at the time. So I didn't appreciate that. But all in all, it was still a good show. It was still entertaining. I'm not mad at anybody, really. I'm happy. Well, I want to say I'm happy that they cast Stacey because of the entertainment value that it gave to the reunion. But at the same time, they can't sit there and act like they didn't purposely go out and seek Stacey Francis to come at Shantae Moore, considering they let their biggest star go, who is Chrisette Michelle. They allowed her to quit the show just so they can bring in more drama. So I didn't too much care for that aspect of it. Other than that, the Wendy Williams part where she was talking about Michelle, I kind of laughed, because when Michelle came back, Wendy was just, clearing her throat, like, stop talking. And I was just like, oh, she's so messy, because, I probably would have did that too. But, when you gossip about somebody and they come around, you're trying to shush everybody, that that's a permanent, messy person. They already know how to do all that. But, it is what it is. So, other than that, the whole thing with Little Mo and Michelle, I don't really want to hit on that, because I do feel like a lot of people, like Lil Mo, has kind of been a little shady towards Michelle. And the reason I feel like that is because that's her friend. And I do understand that Lil Mo has a lot going on, but I feel like she's tired of trying to figure out what's going on with Michelle, and Michelle lying, saying, oh, everything is good, when it's not. So if it's not good, either give us something and not say I'm good and then come, have these anxiety attacks, or just, it is what it is. So lastly, I'm going to say, the Shantae Moore thing with the friend she brought to the cancer benefit, I really did not see it as an opportunity or gimmicky. I felt like the communication had been so bad from when they let Stacey fire her and or whatever from the song and make that big scene in the studio. And with them doing that, I felt like I understood why Shantae didn't reach out or communicate with them to see if it was okay. She knew she had time scheduled to sing, so she figured, I don't really know Teresa like that, so I'm gonna bring my friend who has gone through this. So it did feel like they were trying to make something out of nothing to me, but they could just, I mean, we all have our own opinions. We all see stuff differently. So I didn't agree with Wendy Williams when she said that at all. Other than that, that was pretty much the big parts of the reunion. I didn't expect Chrisette to go at it with Stacey Francis so much, just because if she quit the show so easy, didn't even give Stacey the time of day, then why would she come to the reunion and then give Stacey the time of day? I didn't get that. But, you know, it's all for entertainment purposes. All in all, I really did like the reunion show because it gave me entertainment from start to almost finish. I just didn't like the way that it started making me feel about other characters that I generally didn't change my feelings for because of the show. I didn't change my feelings for Shantae Moore because of the show. I didn't change my feelings for Chrisette Michele because of the show until, you know, she was treating Stacey Francis a different kind of way. I didn't know Stacey Francis. I didn't think it was right for them to allow Chrisette to leave to have Stacey come on just to combat Shantae Moore. I do like that production changed the show to make it more, I want to say, not against Shantae, but to kind of even out the fact that Leela and Lil Mo are, you know, just gung-ho, and Stacey are gung-ho at, you know, trying to get Shantae off the show. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure I missed some things, but you guys tell me what I missed and what you guys thought about it. I'm not angry or upset like a lot of people are. I heard a lot of people saying that they're not going to watch if Stacey's on the next season. The way that I watched it this season, I'll watch it next season. This is the one thing I do want to point out. When producers bring people onto the show to create drama, like Kenya Moore, like Stacey Francis, it's because they want media or social media to pick up on that. So if you think that by you coming on and saying, hey, I don't like Stacey, so I'm not going to watch next season, it's going to get them to take her off, that's not what it is. The less you talk about Stacey Francis, and they start saying, oh, okay, well, nobody really cares for her, or she didn't bring as much as we thought she was going to bring to the show, then they take her off. Now, a lot of people don't say much about Brave. They say, you know, she was kind of neutral and she was cool and all that good stuff. And truth be told, Brave shouldn't have been on the show either. But it is, I mean, I'm not hating that she is on the show. It's just that she's not a diva. But we have all these shows with housewives and basketball wives and football wives where everybody on the show is not a wife. So yeah, I guess it's okay to have people who aren't divas because it's showing the divas working with these up and coming artists. And I mean, that's a good thing. So kind of doing that mentor-mentee type relationship. If they do another season, I would love to see some, you know, not Brandy, but people like, you know, Brandy, Monica, those type of people from back in the 90s who, you know, we really looked up to. They're not going to get Patti LaBelle. I'm not going to get, you know, those type of people, but they can get, you know, a better ensemble cast of people to work together, I believe. So other than that, the whole thing with Stacey Francis, like I said, the more we hate her, the more they are going to continue to bring her on the show. Next season, they'll probably bring somebody else to go against Stacey if Shantae walks off. They're whoever you talk about the most is who they are definitely going to keep on the show. You can petition all you want. They are not seeing that. Stacey's going to be on this show next season. So if we stop talking about her, maybe, just maybe, they'll get rid of her if that's what everybody really, really wants. But right now, that's the bread and butter that's bringing life to the show, just like Kenya Moore did. And you see, Kenya hasn't gone anywhere from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I like Kenya. So that just goes to show I don't want to say they know what they're doing, but they're doing something right to have the viewership that they're having. They didn't cancel this one, but they canceled the one in Atlanta for a reason. So get into that. Let me know what I missed, what you thought about it. All right, you guys, this video's been long enough, so be blessed. Bye-bye.